Go ahead, it's free. 3D model geniuses won't stop revealing everything. I think this is the one that talks about the a new type of mechanics that have been introduced to the 3D modeling world thanks to Zone Zero. Can you believe it, chat? Things like Overwatch characters being used for corn and other kinds of content are actually teaching people about how to use 3D models in a more intense way. Yes, I'm going there.
Industry secrets to apply to my own 3D models, and it's all because anime gacha games like Zenless make their character models available for absolutely free. There's so much we can learn just by loading their model into Blender, and I'll share some of those things with you today, including this genius rigging technique. Now, a lot of people were struggling.
Genius rigging. Gee, I wonder what I can learn about that so that I can implement that in my model in the future.
To get their hands on these free models and open them up. So if you need help with that, I can show you right now. But if you just want to skip to the good stuff, this is the time. Anyways, to examine their models yourself, you'll need 3 things, and all links are in the description.
I'm sorry, chat. I'm gonna be a degenerate. I'm gonna skip to the good part. I'm not gonna open Blender. I'm not going to inspect the model. I'm gonna go straight into the good part. I'm not the only one because people actually use it to did the same thing as me. Here we go.
Her into the scene. Now I'll leave it up to you how you want to light the scene. Let's start exploring this model. This is what impressed me.
This is how I make 3D models as well. And then
the most. This is a tech that has caught my eye recently, which I will call the miracle bone.
Zumi.
This is what it does. When you move it, it moves both hips. It's the hip controller bone, and the thigh bones are parented to it. That's why when you move it, all of this moves. Which, by the way, this thigh bone system is not something you see every day. Usually everything is put into this bone right here, but actually this green bone on top is what controls the actual leg moving. And then this bone right here, it just controls the internal and external rotation of the upper leg. Similar thing going on with this. This does not come with the default meta rig that comes with Blender. This is that custom stuff. And if you're wondering, they have 4 pairs of jiggle bones. This top one is for the entire buttock area, and it's parented to that hip controller bone. These bottom 3 are connected to the leg bone instead.
There are more polygons on this Zenless Zone Zero's character ass than there is on the entire Sega Dreamcast library, which is insane. Saying very sick right now. Please send some love. I'm gonna send you more than love. I'm gonna send you a blush rush, a blood rush to your body, Salrock.
And this one is the bottom of the butt, and we've got one specifically for the cheek crease area and a little bit of the thigh. Which, by the way,
her ass is fat, just like yours, Discordia.
Bones as well, right here, connected right to the thigh main bone, which is crazy. If you've seen her animations in game, you know that all this has physics. And actually, we can kind of replicate that right now if you want to see. I showed you how
I played Zenless Zone Zero for the plot
to install the Wiggle Bones add-on earlier. So over here in object mode, I'm just going to click the bone tab. I'm going to make sure Wiggle Bone is checked. Then I'll go over to pose mode. All of these bones, can I just select all of them? I'm going to enable the Wiggle Bone for. Now, this actually has a bunch of settings that you can control exactly how much jiggle you want. I'm not going to play around with that right now. I'm just going to select, again, the hip controller bone. And if I press the play button, I can see it animate in
crazy.
Real time.
How much movement. Jesus, that's in the game. That is unnecessary. You think, as a gamer, you're going to be paying complete attention to all of this? Okay. Point number 1, the models are free for the public on purpose. And they set them up like this on purpose. Gee, I wonder if they're finally starting to catch on with the marketing.
That is crazy.
This is an in-game model, by the way. Which is wow. Why it looks like Jello when it moves.
Anyways, this is an MMD model, so I'm not sure that they.
It's like this artist just like, hey, I'm learning about 3D modeling.
For those that are not aware, MMD is just when like they make the character dance to certain songs, and that's quote unquote the real reason that Hoyo released these models. So that's
They know because people can just slap MND in a models into MND and have fun with it, and then just give them out for in such a quick access like that. They know that it's for people to make content outside of it. The same thing with Genshin Impact. The same thing with all the other Hoyo games. Like they're learning how to make people even if you don't play the game, you can still be involved in the content somehow. You're playing the game without playing the game.
That's why I highly speculate that these models
People are gonna
probably
put in
have different
VRC and fuck
optimizations
it.
when it comes to the actual game and like combat.
You're
and
playing
stuff.
the game if you
I
do
imagine
that.
This would be so useful for like any dance move that involves shaking the hips, catwalking animations. This is just a one-stop solution
so
for all
merchandise,
that
baby.
movement going on back there. Looks like they have one for the calf as well. They've also got a multi-point solution for the breasts. All seems to be parented to this bone. And this is how they've had their weighting set up. I'm not going to be demonstrating this one today because we have other stuff to cover.
GG.
Moving on, let's
Respect.
take a look at our mesh.
He said he wasn't gonna show that.
And as someone said before, you can select all with A, and then
Biblically
you can
accurate
use
anime girl.
tricyclods or all J.
Top tier
So
model setup. Absolutely.
untriangulate it, so you
I
can
agree with that
scale quads.
100%.
But I'm not going to do that right now because here's the thing: these modelers.
And hi, or
Let me tell you what they do. Let me see if you can see. But their topology is so precise that every accessory and clothing piece is lined up. Usually you'd think like it wouldn't matter where they place the texturing or the details of these like strap thingies. They literally align the topology right to it. It might be better when it's all orange like this that you can see. Like this goes all around that strap. There's a strap that goes around here, and they cut this topology in. And for this, they need to specify which direction the triangles are facing, or else it might not line up like this. This is not without its purpose. Like, it's gonna pay off. The payoff is that if you don't do this, the textures will be pinched in between faces, which will lead to deformations that don't look good when the character moves a certain way. And
Like
related
clipping.
to that point,
Talking about clipping. Something that some people may not know this, but a lot of 3D models, for example, like the ones in Genshin Impact, the texture of the clothes are all not all of it, but a lot of it is painted on one single texture, but it gives an optical illusion with the shading, so that it looks 3D or that it looks like stylized, and which is okay. It's never a problem, but but in the case of this model, it's not a single texture, and if it was, it's separated so well that you can probably strip naked the model, because you can even see it like here, like below the armpit. There's a little dent on the clothing, and they made sure that people can just play around with the models in such a way that it's like ultra detailed. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Luna.
Clothing that's skin tight, it's literally just textured in. If you're like me, you might have been using this easier but much less efficient method where if you have any skin tight clothing, you just duplicate all of the faces of the body in that area, and then you make your clothing like that. For example, these pants. It doesn't matter too much if you delete the body faces under afterwards, like after you rig it. But these guys save literally every single vertex that they can.
Yeah, you said
And to prevent it from
reduce
getting
load
flat,
times.
you've
Oh yeah,
noticed they extrude it at
good,
certain areas.
good techniques.
Like this is the exact location where this went from being flat to having that slightly extruded detail. Let me see where else. So this belt strap thing, flat and right onto the skin. Then here,
Even the arm has like
extrudes
skin
out.
denting.
And that's something we can all appreciate because we've come so far from the days where everything was just textured onto the model. Now there's so much effort in putting even the so many tiny details modeled out like this. That just makes me wonder, what was their process? Like, did they just slide the edges and make knife cuts after texturing? Or did they topologize first and then use the UV lines as guides when texturing? Both viable possibilities.
The answer is yes.
As usual, her
I like
facial
how the man has
expressions
a
are
VTuber.
controlled by shape keys. As someone
cool.
mentioned, we can have these translated. The one I used kind of failed, but it
Mika,
did
you
give
work
me
with 3D
most of them.
models.
Maybe you'll have better luck with a
You should,
better translator.
this
if
is
you decide
important to you.
That.
Pay
Here's
attention.
something a little unusual. They didn't do this one with the Jane one, but the eyes are not shape keyed. They're actually armature rigged. Did they do this for Jane? I actually don't know. Same with the brows too. I don't think there's a shape key for the brows. They just have it controlled by these two bones.
Oh, there it is. At least the eyebrow is also clipping
like
as well.
Around this area, definitely around here. You can see it's semi-transparent. And if you want to mimic that in Blender, use a different material for specifically only the parts that you want to be semi-transparent.
When I see these things
then you
again,
can pause and copy my node setup here. We're just mixing the image texture with a transparent BSDF and using mapping to control where the hair starts fading out. And with the color ramp, we can control how tight we want it and how see-through we want it to get. Make sure your blend mode is set to alpha hashed or alpha blend, or else you won't see any transparency. Okay, look at this.
Silence on zero characters clothes are something else, I suppose.
But this part, like the hair, it's actually.
My man is brave. This is YouTube. Oh,
wait.
Oh,
hold on.
Holy shit!
We might have caught Hoyoverse lacking this time. Hold on.
What do you mean lacking? The model is butt naked on there. Yo, okay.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised it even got to like halfway. You know,
it's not
surprising. Another random...
Of course, if they make it fully, it would be considered another category of like gameplay. But just finish the dots. That's what the artists are doing. They take a model like this. It's already like pre-made. It's already pre-made. All you need to do is just complete the assets.
It's a small thing I know.
It's not that easy, but
we got
people will know how to do it.
Own thing that plugs up this entire inside.
It's just the fact that it's surprising that the fact that it's like that already in the model.
Because
it's insane.
From here, it's not a flat plane, but once it gets to this area, it's flat. And they've called the back.
Same with your glasses. I freaking love these glasses.
When you see it from
Thank you for noticing.
Not on the outside. They cover that up. We're saving a lot of faces on these parts that we know will never bend, like this part of the forearm, this part of the bicep. The calves and thighs have physics, so makes sense why those are not like saved on. But while we're on the topic of the forearm, they've also got these twist bones, which come in like halfway, and the purpose of these is just to offload some of the twisting on the wrist to the forearm.
It's insane.
In real life, when your wrist twists, your forearm also twists. So if you don't have that, like here,
ultra jiggle physics in the model too.
It's gonna get real unnatural. Even go into a wrist up position, everything's gonna get pinched. That's what the forearm twist bone is for. See how much more natural that is. They got one for the bicep as well. So that's what that twist bone has control over. Anyways, that will be it for today. Hope you enjoyed our little study session. There's always something new to learn, even across characters.
Don't worry, I did my homework.
Game. There was some new stuff and variations of things from their older models in this one. Now, I know you guys have been requesting me to look at other games as well, especially Girls Frontline 2 and Arknight's Enfield. Trust me, I do want to deep dive on Enfield's models, if I could get my hands on them, or if, you know, they released their game already. But either way, lots more 3D content coming your way. So do subscribe and stay tuned.
Yes, baby, I'm learning how to, I'm learning more about characters. I'm educating myself on this video.
Twitch. I'm trying to gauge like how many people would be interested in that kind of thing, so links will be in the description.
It's a great video. This person is amazing, honestly. I'm gonna give them my follow. I was told about this video and I was like, this is something you should react to on stream. Now I can see why. I saw parts of it, but this is insane. I like learning about 3D modeling for, you know, for educational reasons, and I hope that I can learn some more from this person, right?